Love changes how you heal. In a study that sounds almost like a parable, researchers brought married couples into a lab. Each person received a small blister on their arm, a controlled and harmless injury, identical across all participants. Then the couples went home and lived their lives. Over the following days, researchers tracked one thing: how fast the blisters healed. And what they found surprised even them. Couples in loving, low-conflict relationships healed at nearly twice the rate of couples in hostile ones. They had the same injury, but the relationship fundamentally changed their biology. And that's something most people don't realize. Your body wants and needs love. Not metaphorically, but literally. There's a ton of interesting research like this, showing how love alters your cells and even your genes. And your heart, the actual organ, can even change shape because of love. In this video, we'll explore what love is, how it serves as medicine, and talk about some of its most mysterious, even unexplainable aspects. The English language has one word for love. We use it for everything. I love my wife, I love pizza, I love my country, I love this video. Now, the ancient Greeks were more precise. They had at least 3 distinct words for love, each describing something fundamentally different. Eros is passionate, often romantic love. It's where we get the word erotic. It's a desire, a consummating type of love, the love that pulls 2 people toward each other. Plato wrote extensively about Eros, describing it as a force that begins first with physical attraction, but can ascend towards something higher, a love of beauty, wisdom, and truth. As Plato wrote so beautifully, love, Eros, is a name for our pursuit of wholeness, for our desire to be complete. Then there's philia, the love between friends, deep companionship, the bond forged through shared experience and mutual respect. It's also just general love. The word has been inherited into our language, like the word bibliophile or book lover, or philosophy, love of wisdom. But then there's agape. Agape is different from the others. It isn't about desire or reciprocity. Agape is unconditional love. It's selfless, given freely without expectation of return. Agape became central to Christian theology. The word is used to describe God's love for humanity, but even in a secular sense, agape points towards something profound, a love that exists independent of what you get back, a love that simply is. Now, I should be clear that scientists aren't running experiments based on this framework, but I think it's a super helpful way for organizing the research, because when you look at the findings, the patterns, I think, start to line up. Studies on romantic partnership and physical intimacy, that's Eros. Research on social connection, friendship, community, that's Philia. And studies on compassion, caregiving, and spiritual love, that's Agape. So the Greeks understood that love wasn't one thing. It was many things, operating at various levels and serving different purposes. And the body seems to understand that too. Science has made us think of the body as mechanical. Input, output, calories, exercise, medicine. Fix the machine and it should work. But the body doesn't seem to work that way. It's highly sensitive to subjective experience. That is how we feel and think. And as we saw before, simply being in a warm relationship can change the rate of healing. Because when you feel safe and loved, your nervous system shifts into parasympathetic mode. That's rest and digest. The body feels, we're okay now, and we can heal. On the other hand, when there's conflict, hostility, or emotional instability, stress hormones send a different message. Something's wrong. Focus on survival first, and we can heal later. How love is expressed has significant consequences. A study of 10,000 men asked one question: does your wife show you her love? The men who answered yes had a 50% lower rate of angina, that's chest pain caused by reduced blood flow to the heart. And the effect was the same even in men with high cholesterol and even in men with diabetes. The conventional risk factors were present, but the felt love seemed to offer protection anyway. That is, if their wife showed love, they literally had less heart pain. But it's not just about pain. Having a spouse seems to make a huge difference to cardiovascular health. A meta-analysis covering over 2 million participants found that unmarried people had a 42% higher cardiovascular disease risk. And there's a molecule at the center of this, that's oxytocin. You've likely heard it called the love hormone. Oxytocin gets released when you hold someone's hand, when you hug, when you look into the eyes of someone you love, when a mother holds her child. And when oxytocin enters your bloodstream, a wonderful cascade begins. Cortisol levels drop, your heart rate slows, blood pressure falls, and even the brain regions associated with fear and anxiety become less active. Researchers call oxytocin nature's medicine. It's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-apoptotic, neuroprotective, cardioprotective, mitochondrial protective, pro-healing, stress buffering, and socially bonding hormone. Trust me, you want it. But here's what's so interesting. A 2025 randomized clinical trial found that oxytocin only enhanced healing when combined with positive partner interaction. If oxytocin was administered alone, there was no enhanced healing. The molecule needs the relationship to activate its full potential. So yeah, love is chemistry, but it's actually chemistry plus connection. And this connection between partners shows powerful effects. In 2010, Stanford ran an experiment where they applied controlled heat to people's skin, producing moderate pain. One group looked at photos of their romantic partners during the pain, another looked at acquaintances, and the third group, the control, was given a distraction. They were told, think of as many sports that do not use a ball. People who looked at their partners reported significantly less pain. And as a brain scan showed, looking at the partner changed how their brains processed the pain. Then in 2018, researchers took this even further. They measured brain activity in couples during pain using EEG and found that when the partners held hands, their brain waves actually synchronized. They literally got on the same wavelength. And the more in sync they were, the less the pain the person felt. And the more empathic the partner, that is, the more they genuinely cared, the greater the relief. Other studies show that simply being in the presence of a spouse lowers blood pressure. The mechanism is explained by vigilance. When you're around someone who makes you feel safe, you stop bracing for danger. Your nervous system can relax. Over time, that difference compounds with less chronic inflammation, less wear on the arteries, and in general, I hope, a happy heart. But on the flip side, what happens in the absence of love? In 2005, doctors at Johns Hopkins documented something called stress-induced cardiomyopathy. It has another name, one that physicians don't object to: broken heart syndrome. It happens mostly to women over 65, and it follows sudden emotional trauma, the death of a spouse, a relationship ending, or devastating news arriving without warning. And the heart literally changes shape. The left ventricle balloons outward. It stops contracting properly. The structure of the organ deforms in response to grief. But unlike a heart attack, the damage is usually reversible. The muscle stays viable, but the condition reveals something we don't talk about enough: that we and our heart registers loss. Emotional pain isn't a separate category from physical pain. They're intertwined. Now let's talk about philia, the love between friends, social bonds, and community. This might be the most underrated form of love when it comes to health. A landmark meta-analysis analyzed 148 studies with over 300,000 participants. The finding: people with strong social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival compared to those with weak or insufficient relationships. To give you an idea, the benefit of strong relationships is larger than the benefit of quitting smoking, larger than the benefit of exercise, and larger than treating obesity. Put another way, lacking social connection carries a risk comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And the increased survival might be traced to a stronger immune system. Sheldon Cohen at Carnegie Mellon ran a fascinating experiment. He exposed participants to viruses and tracked who got sick. People with 6 or more types of social relationships, so spouse, parent, friend, neighbor, they were 4 times less likely to catch the cold than those with only 1 or 3 social roles. So your social world affects your immune system. But how? UCLA researcher Steve Cole discovered that loneliness changes gene expression. In lonely people, over 200 genes are expressed differently. Genes that would ramp up inflammation and decrease defense against viruses. Your immune cells are reading your social environment and adjusting their behavior. Interestingly, during COVID, Cole's team tested whether online connection could substitute for in-person contact, and the answer was clear. In-person connection reduced inflammatory gene expression, but online connection, so video calls, social media, texting, have no significant effect. Digital connection does not replace physical presence, at least not at the cellular level. The World Health Organization estimates that loneliness contributes to roughly 100 deaths every hour globally, over 870,000 per year. Just by the time you finish watching this video, over 20 people may have died due to loneliness-related causes. We treat loneliness like a feeling, but the data suggests it's a health crisis. So the absence of love from those around you doesn't just make life feel empty, but actually shortens it. And then there's agape, that's unconditional love. This is the hardest one to measure. It's not about romance or even friendship. It's about care freely given. And the research that we have is remarkable. A study tracked patients with the common cold. Some were treated by clinicians who scored perfectly on empathy measures, others were not. And the patients who felt truly cared for recovered a full day faster. That's agape from a stranger in a white coat. Even more incredible, a 2024 study found that physician empathy had a larger effect size on chronic pain than opioid therapy or even lumbar spine surgery. A doctor's compassion outperformed drugs and surgery. But agape doesn't have to come from someone else. A study at Baylor University examined religious love, defined as a feeling of loving or being loved by God. Not intellectually, but experientially. They found that perceived divine love was positively associated with self-reported health. So that's agape from something larger than self, but there's another version too. Self-compassion. Studies show that treating yourself with the kindness you'd offer a close friend produces real physiological changes, like reduced inflammation in response to stress. So how you treat yourself and even how you talk to yourself matters. Self-blame, on the other hand, is linked to anxiety, depression, and shame. Agape doesn't require a romantic partner or even another person. It can come from a caring stranger, from something greater, or it can come from within. But wherever it comes from, the body responds. Now, there's a stranger layer to love, one that doesn't fit neatly into biology. Researchers have documented something called telosomatic events, cases where people seem to feel physically what's happening to someone they love, even across great distances. There's one case of a mother writing a letter to her daughter at college. Suddenly, she feels a burning sensation in her right hand. It's so intense that she stops writing. Less than an hour later, she gets a call. Her daughter had a chemical burn in a lab accident on her right hand. Another interesting case is that of a boy named Hugh Brady, who kept pigeons. After falling seriously ill, he was taken to a hospital 200 miles away for emergency surgery. He was there for over a week recovering from surgery, when suddenly he heard fluttering and scratching at his hospital window. So he called the nurse, and when she opened the window, a pigeon flew in and landed on his chest. It was his bird, which was identified by a band on his leg. The pigeon had never been to the hospital, let alone the hospital window. He had no way of knowing where Hugh was. There are many cases like these. Dr. Larry Dossey, who studies medicine and consciousness, has pointed out that these cases resemble quantum entanglement, where particles stay connected across great distances, and a change in one produces an instant change in the other. Resonance offers another possible explanation. In physics, resonance occurs when two systems vibrate at the same frequency, amplifying each other's effects, like a singer's voice shattering glass by matching its frequency. When two people are deeply connected, their emotions and thoughts may resonate, reinforcing and amplifying each other's experiences. But ultimately, we don't have an explanation for this, not a scientific one, but the pattern seems to hold. These events happen between people with deep emotional bonds, parents and children, spouses, friends, and sometimes people and their animals. Even Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychiatrists in history, once wrote, "In all my medical experience, I have again and again been faced with the mystery of love and have never been able to explain what it is." Dossi wrote in one of his papers, "Just as a finger that points to the moon is not the moon, other scientific papers and ruminations will never really capture love. The more we explore it, the more its mysteries deepen. And maybe that's okay. Maybe love isn't something to be fully explained, but we can take a lesson from all this." The Greeks gave us a framework, different kinds of love, each with its own texture and purpose. And the research suggests that all of them matter, that love really can be medicine. Everyone wants to be loved. It turns out the body wants it too. The beauty is that love doesn't cost anything except the willingness and the openness to try. Thank you for watching. This Valentine's Day, share this video with someone you love. Comment below what you think about love and how you express it. And like and subscribe if you like this, and stay tuned for more.